Genius. Speaking of absolute genius, since movie habits,
Whatever a Spider-Man does.
yo, I love that movie. But anywho, after the Simpsons movie release, the series made another monumental style change with its big move to HD in the episode "Take My Life, Please." Sounds depressing, but I assure you, the episode is fun. See?
Son, I'm not going to know that if your life doesn't turn out the way you want, there's someone else to blame. Make your choice. Go back to the clubhouse and order me a top college. Virgin, what are you, a girl?
See? Call back to the intro again, it's really starting to showcase the stylistic changes in this HD switch, so giving us much more of a smoother and cleaner look at Springfield, and just a lot more of Springfield in general, really, as now the frame is rectangle instead of square. Anyway, the episode starts with Springfield inducting Vance Connor into the Springfield Haulers. Starring Wall and Payne.
Frequent flyer, silver cardboard, 20% tipper. Vance Connor!
He's the same age as Homer and even went to Springfield High with him, winning the position of class president over him back then.
Your father's just jealous because Vance was her class president in high school.
Homer insists that no man that confident and successful can truly be happy and confronts Vance about any secret depression he may be hiding.
You mean I have some secret agony? No fancy future hurt your feet?
No, actually, they're like two other clouds. Taken from a fellow middle-class man in America, home where the rich are always comfortable. No exceptions. At Moe's bar, Homer's drinking his sorrows away when Lenny and Carl fess up about a high school secret.
Lenny, I think it's time for us to publicly
To take this box, bury it in the woods. The results of this election must never be known.
The principal once asked them to bury the class president ballot box. Homer gets Lenny to help him dig it up, and what they find is shocking.
It's the box that tells us where the ballot box is.
I mean, I'm not wrong, it was shocking. Waste a perfectly good box by just putting another box underneath it. The next day, Homer counts the ballots and finds out that he was the true winner of the high school election all along, and decides to pay his old principal a visit and get some answers.
quest for truth.
He heads out to a fancy retirement home and confronts his old principal, who ends up telling him the reason he rigged the vote, and it was because he wanted to spare him this.
But you got everyone to vote for us and Joe didn't want.
Homer Simpson, what a loser.
Now we can laugh at him all the way through high school. Who exactly is making someone win class president a way to make fun of someone? I don't know. Either way, I kind of understand why the principal did what he did.
Won't be ready to eliminate Idaho.
It's not satisfied. Thankfully, anyway, magic sauce, man, that shows you the life you could have had.
Your new senior class president is Homer Simpson.
Very pacified.
And it turns out everyone would have ended up liking him. That's great. Now we know exactly what we missed out on. Right?
Down to 10 seconds.
Staring into a phone.
I can't confirm.
5 seconds to
Continue to
return.
look at the saucepan saying this would have gotten to this event.
Boss located biology.
What are you waiting for? Move out.
Your power plant job, it's even better than this life. I'll be honest, they got me with that one. Although there is one side. Homer never had me. Okay, that's got to be a deal breaker, right?
All friendly
Finally getting the education he deserves.
A kind be elected class president.
We can't all be Homer Simpson.
Thanks, guys.
Good ending to a good episode. And beautiful 1080p, no less. Honestly, this one was a great introduction to the more modern era of The Simpsons. Couldn't be happier with it. But from here, the style changes get real wacky, so why not build up to some of those with Brick Like Me, aka the Lego episode. You can trust me when I say they make the most of this animation change, too.
I'm so sorry, but I have an awesome excuse. I was distracted driving.
Good thing we don't feel pain.
That's an excuse that will only work in a world where you can always be put back together. The episode jumps right into things with Homer waking up for yet another normal morning, although there is something that sticks out a bit.
Something is different about the Simpsons. Your father's wearing a tie.
To be fair, with the last time Homer wore one of those, what, season 5? Homer heads off into town looking for a present for Lisa, that being Perky Patty's Princess Shop, while elsewhere, Bart and Milhouse accidentally let a skunk loose in school.
Be ready to eliminate all hostiles.
Naturally, liberated because of this one minor slip-up.
You are going to rebuild every brick of this school. Ain't got
Eric is that's what 15-year-old can't build a Millennium Falcon. Meanwhile, Homer manages to put his hands on the Perky Patty's Princess Shop kit. As soon as he does, he gets great.
Listen to me. It was
No matter
10 seconds. 5 seconds. Located in file.
I'm about to make lots of parties. Are you ready, Doc?
Well, when two Lego minifigures love each other very much, yes, the next morning, Homer wakes up and starts seeing his plushy self in every reflection he finds, making him feel like he's going crazy.
Laying out the welcome mat.
Back to school, though, Bart decided to take some creative liberties when rebuilding the school, i.e., making it a million times more fun.
All the same bricks. What's wrong? You don't study language, man.
How will children learn if they don't feel like they're in kid jail?
Bart must have gotten the wrong idea about stupid stuff. In church, Homer starts to question Reverend Lovejoy about the reality, but again, it's told that everything is meant to fit together and nobody ever gets hurt. It's classic reality. See, that's all we know. But how does that explain this?
My hands look like they're these weird wiggly things. They have a name, but I can't put my finger on it.
This is getting out of hand. Got me up for that. George not giving him any answers, Homer heads back to the comic shop to hold the Princess Kit once more, which instantly sends him back to the Fluff World. Friends invite her to see a PG-13 movie on the same day as the contest, which for her takes quite a bit.
One remaining. Mission failed. All hostiles were eliminated.
Realizing he's living in a perfect fantasy world where daddy-daughter playtime never ends, Lego Homer starts to go wild.
Nothing bad can ever happen here.
Great, See, in real life, I'd earn you like 2 life sentences, but here, you get complimented on your overhand. This place really is perfect. Well, maybe too perfect, as Homer starts to realize what makes life special are the negative parts. The defective parts in the Lego piece. That's beautiful.
The fact that kids grow up is what makes time with them special.
He can always spend time with his daughter that never ages, and the time is never meaningful at all. Desperate to return to reality, Homer heads back to the comic store. They don't need to open up the Princess and to go home, but to do so, you'll need to get through Comic Book Guy, and he's not alone.
Pajama guy.
We're really starting to pull from the bottom of the Lego bucket here. Needing an extra hand, Homer calls out for help and is thankfully heard by a certain troublemaker back in Springfield Elementary. So after a little bit of rule breaking, Bart shows up and is more than ready to help. He's got a giant mech that fires lions, lightsabers, and best of all,
Stone's fired on Hunter's ancient baking tradition, but it goes great with anything.
Like tacos.
Pepperoni pizza.
Oh, cheers. our tradition and yours still on fire. Together, we know it.
Friendly drone deployed. Op 4 reinforcing the location.
So proud of softness. For diapers so soft, it's like wearing a towel. Find pleasure in
Hotels.com is where you go to choose from hundreds of thousands of hotels, and they're the one-time stay. It's exactly what it sounds like to go. I'd like to hear it. Enjoy now.
Insertion in 5 seconds. If you're located the bomb, make your way to the location and defuse it.
No flag. Because Hotels.com is exactly what it sounds like. Hotels.com. Ball.
Sweeping perimeter. Detected a bomb.
Oh, he'll get the thing. Sure, Bart's having this much fun, it's totally worth it. Homer pops up with the princess and wakes up to his normal reality with Lisa by his side.
Me, Lisa, it's you.
But after she offers to stick with him for the Lego competition, he insists she go to the 2-year-old friends, as he's learned he has to let his kids grow up. Sweet, though not the reason. So being as cheerful as a Lego world is in the House of Horrors 3, thanks to the much darker tone in its narrative.
Cover the diffuser.
Murders in the anime art styles almost make this more horrifying. I'm a sense of I'm getting away with that.
The diffuser
It's always someone else a death or I'm sorry, a death. Basically, anyone who spreads the notebook will die in the way she says, but she can't kill the same way twice, so it's at least kind of and spam heart attacks every time. At first, she writes the book off as a joke, like Yagami, but when she gets home and sees an adorable cat being held at gunpoint on TV, she decides to test the Tome's abilities. Oh, truly going to get away with too much.
down.
Why did Homer start spelling? I would have also Lisa would be the one to get the death tome, being the smartest one in the family. Lisa realized that you
You've been eliminated.
but you were a bad guy, meaning in a sense, she's a hero, right? Well, some might agree, some might not, because as soon as she reaches the conclusion, an uninvited guest pops up in her bedroom.
rare to find bloodthirsty vegetarians.
If you have a god of death on your side, usually that means that you're in the wrong. So yeah, the Shinigami, aptly named Steve Johnson, might I add, explains to Lisa that now that she has the Death Dome, it's hers forever, and murder's addictive, from what I hear. Later, Lisa heads downstairs and overhears of Mr. Burns' new plan to melt the polar ice caps. Because the being a vegetarian Earth lover, you know she ain't gonna let that one slide.
I thought you'd struggle with that. You're like dead time.
After killing Burns in his sleep, Lisa realizes that the rest of the company may also be dedicated to the ice cap melting cause, and so she goes on a killing spree, slaughtering executives in increasingly creative ways. Eventually,
try
the entire plot, but in turn has parts of the news. Robot workers, but a mysterious detective named L has caught on that these are being carried out via death tone.
Police have determined that the unexplained deaths of global warm executives were murder committed by one bloodthirsty super killer. They know that thanks to an anonymous detective, L.
But who is this L, and how do they know what's going on? Holy frick, also Lisa's name starts with L, like light, and oh my frick, I just realized that now. Well, it turns out to not be the letter L, but rather L, as in El Barto. Yep, Bart's discovered his sister's secret, and in exactly the way you'd think he would too.
Your diary. No first read was a welcome break.
Because no sibling rivalry is complete without some diary stealing. After having been pulled by anime Bart once too many times, he just snaps and starts to write the code.
Sorry,
Good to know Lisa wouldn't actually kill her own brother. I feel like that's typically going to be a bad boundary to cross. But maybe should have thought twice about killing Steve Johnson, as killing a Shinigami makes you yourself become one, and yeah, she ain't looking too
Fighting only against other basketball.
We're getting right back into the world of toys in this next style in the episode of The Fabulous Baker Boy, which gets to look at what a robot chicken Simpsons crossover would look like.
This isn't the way to the move.
Alright, put it on my tombstone. That quote is an all-time. After he's driven through the house by Marge yet again, Homer wakes up and finds himself to be a bit more plastic than usual. Though, to be fair, he quickly figures out the benefits of being a toy, as after his neighbor gets on his nerves one too many times, Homer, well... Good heavens, that's going to see Mom! Homer decides to test out some more of his abilities, first becoming a donut and smushing everyone in town, especially his parents. Then the trip to the bar becomes a full-string test shop. Give me... I mean, there's a lot of things we don't say, but honestly, that's probably the most fitting. Anywho, Homer takes the family on a trip to Badass City, aka a Hot Wheels track, and challenges Otto to a race over the Springfield Gorge.
Secure the bomb.
Robots with Ralph on board, looks up, and he goes fly with it. Finally, the Simpsons arrive home and smash through the garage. Finally, got it.
Op 4 located the bomb. Protected.
So that's far from where Captain is, as in Natalie's case, the mother of all crossing figures. Right on the bench. Chills the Simpsons and terrifies them. Thankfully, genius that he is,
Op 4 is located a bomb.
he grabs a vial and scoops up some Simpsons goo, handing it to Morgan along the and forcing it off the planet. Meanwhile, the Simpsons residents up before someone finds the mess they show. You know how many characters there are in the Simpsons party? They legitimately so there's their name. I mean, the last thing Rick wanted is that cover. He hands off to some weird alien cloning facility and hands over all the bad picture scan, DNA fluid made, and X pairs all Poor Ned always has these crossovers, man. Wow, you've already little Tim Jones. He's leaving DNA files. Your span is a guy scientist. Most animation team involved at Plan of the Game Bomb.
Last operator standing.
Twist.
Mission failed. All friendly were eliminated.
History parts there too, though she's not modern issues and questions why the distant past has anything to do with us modern people.
So the distant past has anything to do with us.
Naturally, we then cut to 20,000 years ago. The prehistoric Simpsons family struggles to feed themselves, meaning Marge's got to head off and hunt. She thankfully manages to snag a snake by the skin of her teeth and give her family another day of a full belly. Though it's fair to say the times have changed a bit since then.
There is literally nothing to eat here. There are some children in this farm. Don't have enough.
Kids starving around the world argument to a whole other level. Later, Milhouse tells Marty his dad has to go take us to a Spanish rap concert, and Mark's invited to come along. Though first, he's going to convince Marge that he's responsible. And I mean, what two words go together better than Marge and responsible? Now that I think about it, it's probably going to get more Marge and responsible.
Look at her, that's her star! That's her star! Open up and tell me so!
About report either Avril and Cannibal trying to. In fact, she's so mad that she says this.
I never Take the workshop, the most compassionate way for me to phrase this. You're a bad friend and you're beyond hope. Be well, Bart.
What kind of a workshop become a
Protect the bomb.
Bart's a kid! Back in prehistoric times, Bart used the Dave Bart with terrifying wolf attacks, civilized now Bart and Bart was taking yeah, comments on that. Seriously, house in the desert. Find exactly what they're looking for.
We're located at the bomb. Plan your defense accordingly.
You guys, Randy's has new tiny started box.
Sorry, blood!
Which is kind of beautiful. Not condensating,
10 seconds.
more mini options so you can get more of what you really want at Wendy's.
Down to 5 seconds.
The oncology team at Unity Point Health
We're located at the bomb.
your journey.
Progress so far is encouraging. Let's review and plan the next steps.
Unity Point Health, expert care focused on you.
Are you and your dog looking for a new build home? Start concerning homes.
The attachment parenting, co-bathing cycle.
One friendly operator remaining.
The group of point parts tells them to watch it. Eventually he does. The device primary self-fire.
Mission failed. All friendly were eliminated.
Martin wanted for expensive VIP seats to his friends who immediately ditched Millhouse with not even Nelson giving him a ha-ha to send them off.
Front row club.
In response to the PTA meeting, Mrs. Van Houten motions to remove Marge from the board for bullying her son. As you'd expect, things get nasty.
Want to talk about bullying?
One animal way to make less than and other.
That blood-red background of prehistoric times was the exact thing Jade March sees when Millhouse's mom's around. Two keep throwing jabs at each other both in olden and modern times, before the Van Houten wolf destroyed the caveman Simpson's Nick Shack, forcing them to look for a new home. This new art style makes things feel more cinematic, even if there's no words being said. Back to modern times, though, parts of the boys' kids' concert venue would realize they need to have an app to redeem their tickets, and Homer deleted everything they could have used to pull it up. And worse yet, Marge overused it with Mr. Van Houten, who's a part of his fantasy football league. Now he's as good as dead to her. Time to think how prehistoric Homer is to Marge.
Secure the bomb.
Oh, great! How do these animations show doing so much violence? Van Houten can pacify them in line. The fight is on.
We're located at the bomb. Protect it.
Marge starts using their brotherly muscles to get the kids out of harm's way. Cave Marge right in front of their new home, but in front of the Van Houten base. Modern Marge goes to concerts. Modern Marge sneaks into the lounge. Good look push up the apologizes to Marge for Primal. Meanwhile, Primal Marge gets lucky and has a Bronx number on.
10 seconds to insertion.
The fate of her home is in her hands.
5 seconds left.
All that
Op 4 is located at a bomb. Be ready for hostile action.
March connects to Van Houten and helps them to their VIP seating and every timeline had some average.
Time to go.
Except for King Homer, apparently. Good heavens, it's crazy. Reminded me of some mid-sunflower to those flowers, too. Today's good. Oh, look, if you thought art style was the bullet sent the cartoon chaos thing again, oh, wild things to get.
The days fading slowly.
Someone exposed you. Op 4, last stop standing.
한옥으로 대표되는 전통적인 건축 양식은 이후 많은 고층 건물을 건설하면서 초석이 되었습니다.
Whenever I need to pick me up a cackle or something to stop them to take the edge off, I turn to The Simpsons. That definitely can't be fit for everyone, though. Some episodes spark debate, others age like milk, or those that are just boring. Red cheese at dinner parties and made it. Things kick off down under with articles in Australia, which should have been called the Simpsons Writers Room. Frightening. The things go south.
What the hell? It's Northern Hemisphere.
Which ever look at your globe? The Southern Hemisphere is made up of everything below shore.
Martin is value products and naturally ingredients. Bart, after the story loser, claimed that on the water draining the wrong way, though, enter Professor Lee's rules of both me and
Smells like somebody cleaned my couch. I
guess you learn something new every day. Bart doesn't buy it, flushing every 20,000 feet. Oh, in this economy, Bart's determined to prove himself wrong and make his parents poor. He makes some calls to the South Pole, South America, until he eventually connects with Tobias, an Australian boy whose Australian accent's a little kind of like mine. Go and collect. Bart pretends to be some international drains commission expert when Toby confirms that they drain clockwise. Bart asks to park and check the neighbors, and Toby hops on his bike. And get this. That's right, the dude's away for like hours.
Your drone to locate a bomb.
Yes, I did. Say it with me now, guys. Did this. 3 weeks later, faster now than both sides of the entire country building items about the massive Dingo in Queensland. So,
Advise your drone has located a bomb.
Dad's freaking out over those $9 bill, which equates to roughly $1,800 today. Then it falls right here. Well, this I think is
10 seconds before insertion.
Which leads to then this. You take the wrong
5 seconds.
Thanks. You're all the way in Australia.
Which you guess
The bomb's location and defuse it.
That's it.
There's a lot of joining me.
Bart finds himself in a
Is it dangerous this morning whenever I woke up? Coughing and blood.
I mean, I'm not blooding top.
Like,
I've been continuing all day.
I coughed up blood yesterday and this morning, but it was just like a small thing.
Yeah, it's kind of mucus. Wouldn't be too worried about it unless it continues or gets worse. Because the throat is so raw.
One friendly operator remaining.
Finds out Bart needs to go to Australia.
I would put
We arrived, family encounters kangaroos.
Alright, Luke, you gotta move, dude.
This.
Jax, would you have the chair where I specifically move, Luke?
The bottom clip is the...
Bart apologizes to the Australian Parliament who
Oh
demanded
no, Jason moved the TV forward.
We have been eliminated.
But chaos ensues, and all the things were Homer's hard. That can't be good for international relations. So Bart and Homer escaped to the U.S. Embassy, narrowly avoiding capture. After a heated phone call, they reached an agreement. Bart will take one regular-sized boot to the butt through the gate. Everyone gathers around both sides of the fence for Bart's corporal punishment. The Prime Minister Stein takes a run up to the position when this obviously bums everyone out, but alas, the family now escapes in a helicopter as an angry mob chucks phosphorus cans at them. Some saw the episode as harmless satire, others called it a giant slap in the face to an entire continent, and honestly, the producers admitting that they took liberties and made up a lot of cultural gags did not precisely help. Speaking of liberty, next up is the City of New York versus Homer Simpson, where we learned that the show doesn't need a passport to offend entire populations.
I don't want to go to New York City. New York is a hellhole.
And we're off. Mo introduces a new rule because the bar's regulars are responsible for 91% of Springfield's traffic accidents. So for safety, they've all got to draw extra jar to choose a designated driver. Barney, as in the town drunk Barney, draws the black egg. His friends party hard while he resists, and it's looking rough already. Matters do get worse as he wins a dumb promo contest at the absolute worst time possible. We're totally convinced he's gonna fold when this happens.
Locate a bomb.
I don't know if I would have been able to hold back there, but my boy Barney stays through.
Advise drone has located a bomb.
Out was way more than the flash of 2 months in home to putting up wanted posters, parked his car, and Barney, who arrives in the trunk of a limo, drinking from a bottle of champagne. Why am I surprised he's blacked out this whole time?
Yeah.
So not the other one. He's here. He's still his only drive to build a
5 seconds before insertion.
City where his car's parked. Apparently, he's got to fetch his field and
Proceed to bomb location and defuse it.
That's the yeah. Yeah, not all the is like one in any city. However, the bus station offers super cheap trips to the city. The magazine. Crazy how bad magazine government. You know. Why would you come here from the city overheads the World Trade Center to fetch his car? Now booted and full of parking tickets. And true, if you
Must recover the diffuser. Friendly, last operator system.
Council, he ends up having to wait for a parking officer. Responsive vendor within the car's radius, and Ethan drinks a lot of crap.
Last stop standing.
Easy. He finally gets to the observation deck of the South Tower, only to observe the parking officer he's been waiting for. Can you find a more perfect dome moment than this? Frustrated about his $250 key, Homer puts his foot in the gas, oh be damned. This obviously wrecks his car, but it's moving very, very slowly, causing a traffic jam. Somebody tricks a construction worker, Jack like 86 car. He's free! Homer speeds to Central Park to get a spamfler. They all climb in, and as they drive up, this happens.
Can we come back next year, Dad?
All friendly step in.
And in some areas, we can focus 2 hours and re-edit it. Satire of New York is a chaotic, crime-filled mess. Well, these guys, controversy is a global game. Next, we go from the East Coast to the Far East. Backhand set off with good intentions, but landed on some bad actions that didn't quite receive everyone's stamp of approval.
A Buddha statue? We cannot leave it on site. It is bad feng shui.
That was just a trick to sell crappy end tables to the West.
Kick it off with Mr. Burns behind the wheel and Selma riding shotgun. Experiencing right now. Well, it turns out it's not a trick, it's a driving test. He's trying to renew his license, which expired in 1909. As they drive, Selma starts experiencing intense hot flashes, causing her to crash. Later in the hospital, Ember tells her that she's experiencing symptoms of menopause, meaning she can't have children anymore. And as you can imagine, Selma does not take this well.
What about your pet iguana?
Oh, no. See?
Hey, come on, Jub, the bite with the Florence Nightingale and iguanas. Shout out to the nurses that got that joke, by the way. Selma continues to brew before Patty finally suggests that she even dodge. Next, the whole family is outside Springfield Orphanage as Selma feeds their new baby, promising to treat her smokes and chewing tobacco. And it's a start. Sad to see her joy is short-lived, though, when the baby's parents, versus rednecks Cletus and Christine, show up. It seems they have had miscommunication.
Now this hurt my wild. She's tired of having rabies.
Look, I doubt rabies is great for getting your point across. These tells her Aunt China's got thousands of baby girls who need adoption. When Selma applies, she's informed only married couples can adopt from China. Also, her husband must travel with her to fetch the baby. So, in a panic, girl, someone does the most insane thing she could ever do and puts Homer's name down on the application. I have a feeling things are going to get weird, to say the least.
Homer Simpson, it's my whole world.
I just felt a chill go through my soul.
That makes two of us, homie. Everyone knows why they're all flying to China, besides Homer, who thinks Selma's just being insanely generous. Nervous, Selma asks Marge when they should tell him the truth, and she decides when the drugs kick in. They must have given him Burning Man doses, because my guy's straight up seeing things. Looks like it's showtime.
You have to pretend to be my husband.
Homer's reluctant and tells beloved Marge asks him very nicely, sealing the deal. When they land, they meet Madame Wu, the adoption rep, who informs them the process takes a few days, meaning they've got time to explore China's rich culture. Fun. On the other hand, this also gives the rep time to observe Homer and Selma as a married couple. Not fun. Well, that's a given chance. They're just two people who despise each other. Should be fine. Unlike Homer, who gets rocked and shouting monks while fight scene. And this
He's like a little angel that killed 50 million people.
Unlike some people, I'm just giving my butts a gun. Some Barkley said the Green Wall where he only ends up to jump over before everyone watches the play, which must have inspired Homer to perform it. Because the next day, when Madame Wu asks him what he does for a living, Badu has this amazing right idea.
Don't me whatever I want. I'm a Chinese acrobat.
That's a bad shame, but Homie doesn't even look like an American acrobat. I'm stunned when they get their green light to fly home with me. But remember Homie, that famous Chinese acrobat? Well, he had a little show when the lead acrobat suffers a bullet-related death after making the mistake of speaking freely. Disappointed the audience will riot unless Homer saves the day with his acrobatic skills. For a second, I thought he was killing it. And by killing it, I mean his chance at ever walking again. The hospital, Selma finally introduces her daughter to me. Marge is so proud of Homer that she can't keep her hands off him when they're alone. Tragically, Madame Wu catches this vehicle and takes Ling away, forcing Jane to go to plan a smuggling out of China.
Just put this hook in his nostril and pull.
See, that boy may not have the grace of an acrobat, but he's got the body and he's like, those hurts. It hurts my him described by the hood, but overpowers him to rescue his leg and sets off their idiotic escape. They're intercepted by Madame Wu in Tiananmen Square. This is moving way too fast for me. However, Selma, as a DMV agent, sees Madame Wu and tries to appeal to her cold, bureaucratic heart.
But there's a greater joy in bending the rules to help someone who thinks all hope is gone.
Beautiful, man. Makes me want to go fill out a form. Madame Wu shares the team Stu was raised by a single mom and lets them go. They tackled adoption and politics and classic satire, blending cultural stereotypes with jabs at Chinese bureaucracy, tossing a Tiananmen Square gag, and few debates about where humor should draw the line. Okay, next up we cross the line without crossing the border. Letting a linguistic lunatic loose and Cape Theory scared the frick out of people in 1993. The internet was yet to drive us all absolutely bonkers, brain rot, and texting hadn't been invented yet. Anywho, Bart and Lisa are watching TV, and
Some outfit, it makes you look like a homosexual.
yep, that type of gag 10 seconds in. Finally, Marge comes in the mail, a letter from Lisa, and a series of harrowing death threats for Bart. Written in blood. That's cute. Bart's visibly frazzled-dazzled as the roll on in. The family's worried too, wondering who would want to harm Bart like this. Okay, besides Homer, who wrote one thread? Some Bart's spiraling when he says,
Like the person you would suspect.
wow, talk about paranoia and some cognitive bias. Bart's moving about the page, running up right down the street. Of everyone around him, Bart goes to see the window is miraculously less humble. Turns out the bloody culprit is Sideshow Bob, who's up from Wall Street. That's hearing sympathize without helping him. Then someone Bob takes his tip. The toxicity of their couple and unmade cyanide seem healthy. He recalls how Bob tried to kill him and naturally Bob's lawyer asks the court who's thinking of killing him.
She's always leaving the toilet seat up.
Despairing of Wu mean nothing. Bob's next statues that include Die Hard Die are a massive concern, but he cleverly claimed ignoring all the red flags, the parole board's convinced that off Bob goes in society. Later, the Simpsons go to the movies, and they encounter an obnoxious man who turns out to be none other than...
Oh my god! I'm
Stay away from my son.
Because Bart's fighting to figure out who's behind all those letters. Anyway, dude's legit obsessed with an actual child. I honestly cringed for an entire 37 hours after watching the air quotes prep for their showdown. I timed myself to 37 hours. No, I did. Chief Wiggles been called in to not help once again. World winner for not helping. Yes, they hire a no-nonsense private eye who looks promising when he confidently states,
I'm through. He won't set foot in this town again. I can be very persuasive.
"Leave town. Be a friend.
okay.
Brother, I trusted you. How could you be less helpful than Wiggum? Bob's driving an ice cream truck, naming everyone he won't kill. They join the FBI, whose witness protection program gives them a fresh start, only somewhere with an abjectly terrifying name, like.
I mean.
Yeah, I told you they were terrifying. Objectively. Yeah, I'm saying abject. Look it up. It's a real word. I didn't think it was a real word. They're given a new surname, Thompson. The Thompson. That's not it. Homer's not vibing with it either, taking him forever to answer to that name. Eventually, Thompsons are all set. They've got a sweet new convertible. Bart and Homer got sweet hats. Life's good until it isn't. Stowaway. It looks like old Bob's back along for the ride. Think of such a nuts. No one's going to be terror in Terror Inc. The family settles into a houseboat, which they're located in. Bob is a fan, though, as the boat only further worse than Harvey Hopple's hawking prowess. Him to the point that he ruins the big scary reveal to his child nemesis by getting run over worse by a car than a marching band. Broken extended by elephants on marching on a dog falls. One of them is helpful, and the other one is Farmer Thompson, whose intentions are pure despite his actions being questionable. Bart confesses that he's feeling on edge and asks his dad to take it easy on the crazy antics. For a second, I think we'll get some like dirty boy. Hey, it's not a second. 1 second, alright? Technically, not wrong. Bob, you can just reflect the actual
I stopped it all up.
I cuts the ropes and looking out the lake. Finally, barges into Bart's room. The boy calls for help, and Bob's died his family. He tries to escape but realizes he's stuck. In an excruciatingly tense moment, Bob offers a last request. Bart uses flattery to assault the psychopath by asking Bob to sing the entire score of HMS Pinafore, and opera Bob performs aloud, even changing outfits mid-performance. This crescendo of killing Bart, however, comes to an abrupt halt. There, Sancho Bob. You're under arrest. Your eyes are fine. That is a fat wing of being helpful. I arrested Sideshow Bob and putting an end to this constant BS. Baby. Let's get back. This episode is still at its best, but most of the envelopes never easy. In one good blood-strong, blood-strong trial was a tough self-work cartoon detective who got the gag also did not matter as much, earning a German ban. Killing kids never ages gracefully. Unlike smoking pot, which went from dope in recent years. Meaning that Weekend at Birdsee's ladies with controversy came out on top. Red-eyed and ready to roll. You know what they say about the medicinal nature of black?
Man, I don't do drugs. Your eyes, the best tonic is chronic.
An unsettling experience with genetically modified food inspires Marge to plant her own garden. My girl faces the Harleys, first frozen rock up and seasons to plant. Not bees, though. She was Scarecrow, using iconic items from previous episodes. Bart's horse riding trousers, Lisa's hockey jersey, Grandpa's hat, and even the pumpkin from a few Treehouse Horror installments. I'm not gonna lie, this extra Simpson trivia is making my simple brain get going. The problem with the Flanders keep locking over Scarecrow's brain.
Oh my gosh! I see my body. Well?
Where were we? Now I'm lost. Yes, Ned, you are lost. That ain't your card, man. Fixes are Christian and grow concerns, but not for long. Then when Homer gets home, the darkness combined with his murder brain makes Scarecrow look like a scrawny man. He just runs the gross biggest bones on their unwavering devotion. Homer takes on the mantle of King of Crows. He emerges.
Now go do my bidding.
negatively. Anywho, I knew my own team would have released the road game, but then they ruined it for most. Stole Marge's spot for bed. Slowly enough, things escalate when Homer has a broken in special acting on the second floor, basically sending a clear of child services.
Chainsaw?
Talk about it. Just these wrong
I failed it. I failed it.
to a stern dominance.
Whoa, whatever.
He ends up getting connected to the emergency room, meeting Dr. Hibbert on a puzzle stitches in his eyes. How why it looks agonizing. The good doctor prescribes medical marijuana to help him cope, but Homer says, but hey, doctor's orders are doctor's orders. Plus, that wizard fog looks pretty freaky. Back home, Homer lights up a Jay's Devil's Lettuce. Kentucky Stranding for a Snoop concert. He was making hot dogs of Marge and dabbling in sacred stoner art of that would make a great hype in the lease of saxophone, which he's taking us up to shine to. That's the nuclear plant burns his not having tells us that needing someone who dives at all his jokes. He win over finds Burns' old-timer quick smooth areas, making Burns promote him to executive VP. Homer's professional highs aren't doing anything to ease Marge's mind now.
Homie, I don't mean to nag, but what does this have to do with healing your eyes?
It's got everything to do with his eyes. His third eye, more precisely, which could be closed again as a marijuana recriminalizing initiative, which Homer signed, will be up for a vote. Homer takes to the stage only to realize that the vote went down yesterday and they lost. The cops are even burning weed outside the town square. Homer sad to see it all go up in smoke when Marge steps in.
I want you to look at your children and promise them you will never do drugs again.
He's kind of giving off dark energy here. Is that just me? Probably. But Homer loves his wife and kids, so he hangs up his lava lamp and heads to Moe's. Meanwhile, Mr. Burns is writing a speech for an important shareholders meeting and needs high Homer. But Homie confesses he doesn't find him funny anymore. Don't. Regardless, the concerned Homer preps for the meeting as Marge tries to reassure him in the worst way possible.
God, I feel like that.
I doubt any drug can fix that. Flash forward to Burns' house and his speech isn't tickling any funny bones anymore. Burns doesn't take too kindly to this, leaving the room without. Speaking of, Homer's got a joint stash that he and Smithers partake in. They get lost in stoner chatter until he's realized that Burns has been in the tub too long. Homer freaks out with a mind dead, but Smithers' Wall Street game is on point as he devises his game.
Mr. Burns, may we skip your speech and go directly to the questions?
Now that's a corporate puppet. Luckily, the movie caused the Burns' heart to start beating again, saving the company from a financial disaster. In the air, lit up debates on responsible portrayals of drugs. Homer never tokes on screen, as stoner antics were enough to get this in the UK and rated N in Australia. This next episode, though, shows online Homer something more grounded in home base. In a Little Big Mom, a broken leg nearly becomes a broken home. That's the news meeting. It starts with the usual. Homer and the kids watching TV. Marge is in full stealth mode, though, trying to get rid of the old junk the family refuses to throw away. Unfortunately, her cover's blown. Homer and the kids protest. And to prove her point, Marge whips out a set of skis Homer bought in 1998, but is never used. I'm not amazed because it only inspires Homer to take the family on a ski trip. After an uncomfortable rough fight in the car, Marge decides that she can't be on this whole skiing thing and decides to tilt the lodge. The reason being,
skiing first into a crevasse.
Talk about meeting time. See, got the clock. Take her to the hospital where Dr. Edwards says she'll be staying until her cast moves on. Tragically, she was one of Miss Laundry Day, or team meeting Lisa Maloney, left from Cotton's Fox. Homie tells her to focus on getting better. They'll be fine. Even Bart has some reassuring words. There's chivalry is dead. Marge in the picture, Lisa wants to step in and take charge, assuring her mom that she's got this domestic thing down, but doubt slowly creeps in. And the next morning, when she sees homies walking around in his briefs, and she realizes that he is going to suck a lot. Turns out Marge's been dressing him this whole time. Undeterred, she creates a detailed chore plan, which she places in a chore hat so everyone can pick a task at random. This does not go well.
Lisa, I'll do the dishes when I pick it out of the chore hat. And it's not a practice. There it is. But that was a practice.
The sheer nerve of these two. I'm mad for Lisa. I hate watching them take the piss like this, bro. It's like fracking. She even packs them lunch because they Unfortunately, Lisa eventually struggles to maintain order in the house, which is currently giving Saw energy. Mainly because when she finally gets part Homer to do something, they do it poorly, magically making the place even more filming. Meanwhile, Marge's living her best life, enjoying her bed rest as the doctor gives her acupressure treatments. Poor Lisa's feeling abandoned, calls Marge, asking her when she's coming back.
Think you'll be getting out of there soon? I really thought I could handle this, but I think so too. Bye.
Oh no, don't tell me Marge has also joined the dark side. Later that night, Lisa's struggling to sleep because the boys are watching TV with the volume very loud. In a moment of desperation, she starts hallucinating the ghost of Lucille Ball, one of TV's most famous trad wives from 60s sitcom I Love Lucy. Lucy's been watching all that stuff in that house. She's also had suggested at least get revenge. Lucy's been watching all that stuff in that house, and she's also had it. She needs revenge. She needs a W. So she waits till they fall asleep. Summoning the power of arts and crafts, she uses green baked oatmeal to carry out her plan. Next morning, Homer and Bart are horrified when they discover
You got leprosy.
unclean. Have you look around you? Lisa tells them leprosy thrives in unsanitary conditions, so their only chance is to clean up the house. Refusing, they remember that Jesus cured lepers, so they go to Flanders hoping Ned can help. Terrified by the sight of their leprosy, Ned tries to do the Christian thing and lets them down easy. We're not really fit up for lepers.
You're kidding me.
Homer with them. Meanwhile, it's time for Marge's gas to come off. The house phone call is asking about Homer's whereabouts, and when Marge suddenly bursts through the door, and she's pretty stoked about it.
Located a bomb.
Is, and now worried by most calls, she's to her mom. They ask her if she does to a leper colony in Hawaii. Not even alive. That when she's filming someone in leprosy. I mean, one thing stands out.
I'll have great the whole beat from the electric meter.
It's lost in this. Marge gets
Advised drone has located a bomb.
but Homer and Bart choose to stick to the story. The lovely news. A small price of sparked the backlash for realizing leprosy causing Japan
That's
They also reinforcing outdated gender roles as Homer and Bart's
Spy section.
too far. No, that's not the time to ban the Simpsons episode.
The bomb location and defuse it.
Tokyo, the Simpsons go directly to the stores.
Go to Jamaica. I keep Babylon too long.
Lisa's reading a magazine called The Wired Mag, and she's stoked to learn about Cyber Cafe opening up in Springfield. David Thomas online back when the internet was nice. Homer looks like he's crushed it, investing in songs and all that jazz. Finally checking it out takes this trip to it.
We do get well.
Oh my An Iron Snyder attack. Please! Homer tries to make up for the lost vacation funds with his first part. Oh boy! He's lucky Ned decides to teach rather than to tattle, dragging him to a seminar. Eventually, Homer takes Marge to the saving seminar, where the speaker shares some niche cost-saving tips, like buying tuxes people died in and getting deals on peace-soaked yachts. His mantra is,
Hey, it squeezed so hard it went into my hand.
too literal, bud. I'm just chuffed to see Homer grasp an idea. The penny is not to After hitting the 33-cent store, they break their piggy bank open, checking their vacation fund progress. They're a big store that rewards to squeeze every penny since it clutches some brutal financial ease. I'd like to say finesse. Okay, roll.
Such a flying energy. If you don't care where you go, then on the block.
It's not. I'll be picky, but it'll take time. Guess it's built in, I suppose. Maybe here is an announcement for 4 seasons in Tokyo, but this you make the worst reason.
If we wanted to see Japanese people, we could have gone to the zoo.
Yeah. Once settled, Bart switches the hotel to something less traumatizing. Caesar. That Pokemon episode on. The rest of the Pokemon, their waiter holds his own with some website. Lots of fun up there. Got 8 AR-15s.
No longer in possession.
Which, yeah, I didn't say, but... Apparently wants to do something Japanese. Then, in overtime, pretzel salting leads to an emperor assault landing in the best life. Hey, they even have an itinerary at Kabuki Place. Inner peace. In this economy, Homer tries to do Lisa's small bowl with some prison origami, delicately transforming their last million note into a crane. A symbol of good luck. This talisman must be broken. It's like just the wind blows this cash bird right away, leaving them stranded. At the U.S. Embassy, the ambassador gives them these encouraging words.
How are we going to get home?
Try getting a job and earning some money.
Because why would a U.S. Embassy ever actually help American visitors? Cut to Osaka fish concern with the family guts fish for money. Marge gets a light bulb moment when she sees an ad for a family game show. We feel guilty for underestimating Marge because we flash forward them on said show, playing for tickets back home. They're given some options.
Our categories are, oh, that hurts. Why are you doing this to me? Please let me die.
When life gives you lemons, pick the least painful-sounding Japanese game show category. First round over the human pinata. Blindfolded, his family wails on him with wooden rods, and this must have been catharsis by proxy. Next, some mild, severe electrocution as they tie Homie to Tokyo Tower during a lightning storm. The presenter congratulates them for their win, and I think the worst's over until he reveals,
pick them outside that whole kid.
Who hurt? So they embark on a long hike. At the top, they find a rickety bridge floating on lava. Their ticket sitting right in the middle, being the lightest tries to cross. That's the ticket for this back. Relax the bridge. Marge rushes to help, and also is trapped as the moment Marge crawls. I gotta say, things are careless.
That lava is just originated by our sponsor.
Wait, he loves inhaling molten rock. Safe space, no judgment, just questions and concerns and confusion. My heart freezes today because the lava was Bobby or Stone starting they finally get their tickets.
5 seconds before
Limit Homer has to take and just fix these bombs.
Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Homer, the moral compass. Exhausted, they take off to Springfield, sleeping through a Godzilla attack. From absurd game shows to ripping on the Pokemon security and running on stereotypes, that Japan was not looking to begin, banning them. Now on Disney Plus Japan. Even South Korea falls some type of way, only airing houses. I'm still concerned with international flights. They're on the 10th. Blame it on Lisa. Call me a dummy, but it took this entry from my sleep-deprived brain to finally click that these guys never.
They're going to Brazil.
Homer and Bart are watching Eugene scratchy when Marge fills them in on an insanely high phone bill. Hundreds of dollars. Paul's being still. Homer blames garbage incident ever. I don't blame him. It would be Bart's first phone bill incident. Convinced of the billing error, Marge takes over the phone company the next day. They meet with Lindsay Nagel, a customer service rep, to plead their case.
We are not paying this bill.
Oh, come on, you're stuck.
I'll cut off their ponytail.
Yikes! Talk about a masterclass on how not to negotiate. Frustrated with having no phone service.
Yo, teammate, move.
Connection, which resulted in him getting severely
Thank you.
electrocuted.
I want to hit you.
Margin system, they just pay the bill. When Lisa learns it's Paul's still looks clean. She reveals that stopping, or she called the instead he disappeared. It's been hours pressuring her patients running a phone bill, and it turns out you can't hang up on nuns. This shows in a video where Nolan patient here touched the family decides to go find Ronaldo, leaving Maggie with Patty and Selma. On the flight, Lisa gives Homie some travel tips.
Only drink bottled water, you'll get it for the and remember, they have winter during our summer.
So it's opposite land. Hot snow falls up. Woohoo!
He's not the brightest, but he does have a wild imagination. Meanwhile, Martin is Spanish, and waited for slaves didn't speak Portuguese. When they finally arrived in Rio de Janeiro, they learned that they could travel anywhere in the city by a conga line. How convenient and uncomfortably stereotypical at the hotel rooms. So-called telly movies. Marge is not happy. He and Homer find some weird hats in the room, put them on, start dancing. All of this is Lisa hits them with this little reminder. Is she right? Yes. But is she wrong? They start their search for Ronaldo and Norman. They get there, they walk in slums with painted rats and bright buildings designed for fat tourists. The nun tells them that Ronaldo went missing months ago, making us worry about their chances of ever finding him. But she's not one shy of a challenge. Her father had a dinner at the restaurant alongside his plan.
All the things that Ronaldo might be. We should be able to search them all.
If I ever go missing, I want Lisa to lead the search party. The game splits up, with Homer and Bart heading to Copacabana Beach, where they're forced to wear Speedos. Let's just say Homer's new look. Not many ladies. Marge and Lisa start their search in some of a small honest place. I'm not surprised when it's males. Meanwhile, Homer and Marge search isn't going any better either. They get pickpocketed by a group of kids. One more spot to search, they hail a taxi. I'm afraid that these things are getting happened. The time before Homer's so busy celebrating the free cab fare that he doesn't see Bart escape. What's worse, the big cab driver takes him to the rainforest. Bart arrives at the hotel and just calmly switches the TV on. Like, dude, what? Only when Marge asks where his dad is does he tell them Homer's been kidnapped. Marge then goes to the police, who just don't believe her for some reason. Meanwhile, back in the rainforest, Homer manages to call Marge, telling her that the kidnappers demand $50,000. A high sum compared to what the family managed to scrape together.
That'll buy you one of my legs, or something they call a mystery bag.
Is it actually a mystery bag? They know it's just pieces to Homer. Sure, the kidnappers aren't happy. He then makes a call to Mr. Burns, who says they'll advance the cash and just have him work it off. Homer flat out refuses and calls Flo, who ends up asking him for $50,000. He agrees, and then calls the planner to ask him for $100,000. Unfortunately, Ned can't help but offers to pray for him. Elsewhere, Marge and the kids are walking through a carnival, sad to try and as their own parking lot. This cake show, out of the blue or pink curtain, exactly this happens. No way! Stop writing this video.
Your is found a box.
You and the rest of the audience are back. Apparently, being an orphan child star has some ups and downs because this kid is loaded. Hey, Homer's fans are getting up here. It's like a cable car, but it's a lot of these age. The kidnappers are on the cable car and tours where saying his goodbye. Homer shows snap pictures of the he made.
This is a cigarette butt you burned me with.
65 seconds.
Family hands over the ransom, but when Homer jumps under the car, the cable snaps and they think you want to goodbye. Bart swallows the whole life. And inside the snake, this episode ends. The unflattering portrayal video, complete with painted rats, kidnappings, and hypersexualized kids' TV, had Brazilian tourism officials threatening to sue Fox. James L. Brooks issued an apology that it stopped the episode from being banned in years, only making it via a delayed release. Thanks to from upsetting one soccer-loving nation to another. Home makes Springfield their battleground, and they are armed to the teeth.
Surely you can't put a price on your family's lives. I wouldn't have thought so either, but here we are.
Kick off with Bart and Lisa convincing Homer to take them to a soccer match between Mexico and Portugal. Springfield's every game watches the game of footy. A sport Americans about 99.99999% of the crowd don't want to take to. XOL can no longer bear the boredom, so he gets a and Locke trying to keep the peace. He understands that's not called for. Then Lenny tells him to shut it in spite of his own voice. Wait, oh? The car's on fire. Our window's safe. The rioting pushes Marge and Homer to hire home security. The refuge in body shadiness is doing well until he says $500, about $980 today. Homer chucks him out immediately, soothing Marge's concerns about their safety and coming up with this plan.
Let's go get this country.
I'll see. Well, that's not comforting. That's for 75 days. Forever so long. You guess the whole Marge. Zip out of the house, reminding him of that time Maggie shot Burns. Homer says she was not engaged in the matter until she became NRA.
Lifetime member, wonderful organization.
Hey, Mr. Gator shot. Marge is gold. Can't say no. Agreed to meet him halfway. He's a gun less possibly than a toddler. He's waving around like he's
robbed and Marge accidentally then shoots Lisa's ball off of a fucking ladders. Finally, he destroys the family's dinner plates, using them as targets. Marge is stripping spaghetti bologna, inquiring about their whereabouts when Homer whips out his gun, breaking their compromise. Marge gets mad. With a capital, despite Homer's efforts to about the gun.
Oh, guns at the dinner table.
With this thing, Diaz. Yet another non-reassuring sentence. Marge begs Homer to get rid of the gun for her and the kids, and thankfully he yields and agrees with her, or does he? Because not long after that Marge exchange, Marge and Milhouse find it in the vegetable crisper, and so kids being kids, the boys play a dangerous game of William Tell. When Marge comes home to find Bart pointing a gun at an apple in Milhouse's nose, she finally loses her mind.
Of all things, put it on you like this is the worst.
Come on, that's not fair. We all know he's done far worse things. She takes the kids and leaves, vowing to not return until Homer gets rid of that thing. He holds his ground, even doubling down by hosting an NRA meeting. Here he uses his gun as a can opener, shocking everyone. Then he ups the ante by using it to switch on the TV. His recklessness horrifies the group into giving him this lecture.
Guns are toys.
I never thought I'd say this, but Krusty's stance is quite morally sound. His membership card shredded, and he's stolen to the meeting as he's no longer an NRA member. Later, Homer's walking around the house, shooting the lights off when he has a rare light bulb moment, realizing that his gun has cost him everything: his wife, his kids.
Cool. You make a friend now?
I bet he's got way more than a shot in the dark, because the family's not doing so hot either. They're staying in a motel and wouldn't look out of place in any horror movie. I can feel how relieved Marge is when she hears Homer's voice as he barges into every room yelling her name. He finally finds their room and pleads her, begging to hear the bomb. She asks about the gun. He says it's a gun. And this time, I'm snake jailbird. How could you? I trusted you. Snake grabs the gun from Homer.
Location compromised.
Motel sound alarm, and they steal the gun. Homer confesses to Marge about the gun's stronghold on him because it makes him feel powerful. To Marge, Marge,
10 seconds. 5 minutes left. Located by Homer.
I'll take time.
The best invitations are the ones that feel personal. Same feeling every Lexus will define. For limited time, get offers on select vehicles at the invitation for Lexus sales item.
Ultramites will always be a threat to Earth. But
cycle of gun culture. Takes an aim at gun culture, a loaded topic in the United States, pun not intended. Some critics felt it misfired, and the NRA wasn't impressed. The UK banned the soccer riot and overzealous gun Nick tweet to suggest that she ditched the gun. Nick took out of the gun debate and checked into a mental asylum with Stark Reading Dad, a classic satire of the film One Flew Over a Cuckoo's Nest. And let me just say,
First place the diffuser near a bomb. Destroy it.
Well, we have a very simple method.
Things start off with she tells Bart that her 8th birthday is coming up, and when she says that he's disappointed her every other birthday, because all of his words accidentally turned painfully from wasp to Bart's friend cat. Some reasons where he was like this in 1991 because everything eventually things take a somewhat dark turn and different spots and seems as a symbol of rebellion.
All friendlies were eliminated.
Dissatisfied with finding nothing during what I'd call too many cavity searches on Homer, Burns orders a psychological evaluation. They give poor homie a take-home personality test to fill out. That evening, he tries to get Marge to fill out for him, but she's too ethical. Darn! Then he goes to Lisa, who will only do it if he listens to her poems. So, that doesn't work either. Finally, he turns to someone with no morals or poems. Bart. He agrees, asking his to add some of the questions on the forum.
You wet your pants.
Dude should have just sat back and enjoyed some pros, man. The next day he finds out he failed the test.
Wow, didn't see that one coming.
Homer's taken away for a more formal psychological evaluation, which is going surprisingly smoothly. That is until an ink blot that resembles Bart makes the man absolutely lose it. Not a good look. He's deemed insane and gets committed to a mental health care facility. His new roomie is a big, bald, white dude who claims to be Michael Jackson. Having ever heard of Michael Jackson, Homer believes him. So do I. When I close my eyes and listen, stop caring about my life. The two form a quick bond, having this heart to heart.
You seem like a nice guy.
Why'd they put you?
Because I wear a big shirt.
People thought I was crazy for the way I dressed.
Seems the haters don't like it when your trip's different. Later, Michael takes Homer for a tour of the ward, introducing him to everyone there. Homie wants to call home, but is ashamed of calling his family from a mental asylum. Michael offers to make a call to Homer. Bart picks up the phone, thinking it's a prank call until Michael answers his question correctly. Michael tells him that Homer needs his help. Ecstatic, Bart breaks the news to Marge.
Protect the bomb.
I guess that's one way to share incredibly bad news. Marge frantically searches the phone in the place where Homer finds Mr. Psychiatrist. Her hand's not crazy. Good luck with that. Giving him a certificate of degree. Sounds very official, by the way. As he says his goodbyes, he finds out that the dudes there voluntarily fights united their
Op 4 is located the bomb. Be ready for assault.
waiting up her entire life. Homer calls
10 seconds.
Michael, yeah, their beer and meats with her
5 seconds.
Don't pacify!
He then tells Bart to stop being scared of the emotional soul funnel.
Located by Op
Bart is
4.
now convinced he'll be hosting the real Michael Jackson.
Can you keep a secret? No. Oh, well, who cares? Michael Jackson is coming to my house.
Ladies and gentlemen, a new promise-breaking record. 3 seconds is all my boy can handle. The news spreads like wildfire, creating a media story from their being sitting on a podium on their lawn. The crowd disperses when they realize that Michael Jackson is some overweight white guy. Everyone's disappointed in Bart, but not when he admitted he forgot to buy her a present. He is shattered, handing this letter to him.
Dear Bart, you're now brother and sister in me.
Yeah, that is very certainly. Michael overhears her and encourages Bart to make amends by writing a song for feelings about it. And so the two work together to create a song. In the morning, Michael goes down to Marge's room and wake up the birthday girl for this world premiere of Happy Birthday, Lisa.
Lisa, it's your birthday.
It is quite busted. Something like the saying
Reaching metal.
song really does and it's still stuck in my head all the time. On the other way out, Michael's voice is revealing these explaining the topic by spreading joy. This one's voice Leon Kapowski under the studio John J. Smith. Though Jackson didn't perform the singing, his involvement became the focal point of controversy after leaving Neverland reignited his essay allegation. Some fan called it 2019 removal censorship, but James L. Brooks stood firm, calling it a moral decision. Now trading a moral stance with something far less noble, let's talk election. Extravagance might abruptly sets things off to an explosive start in a somewhat
Op 4, last stop standing.
Away, setting them free. On the drive home, Marge reminds him that it's the start of the month and his new diet. Freaking out, he bolts to Springfield's fast food boulevard for one last epic binge. Inhaling the fast food, and I put money on this to make it flush. While cleaning out his car at the scene of the crime, he unwittingly ignites mayhem. Talk about killing the thing you love. This dude straight up obliterates Fast Food Boulevard, inciting a town hall meeting. The Springfield residents demand the street's reconstruction. The most vocal resident being one Homer Simpson, which I find deranged considering their Whitby is down.
Eliminated. Successful.
He declares, I hereby move the election up to next Tuesday. It's crazy to see what one incident of overzealous overreacting can achieve. This unexpected move causes presidential candidates and media outlets to swarm Springfield. Heck, even Jon Stewart's in town. News pens, debates, focus groups are everywhere. Lines have been drawn, even families' lawns, sports signs with a chosen candidate, except for one, whose sign reads undecided, causing this very normal reaction.
I wonder who that could be.
I mean, who else would it be other than the Simpsons? Everyone and their mother flocks in their house for photo ops. Finally fed up, Homer kicks everyone out. Later it moves, he finds out that everyone's had it with all the political pandering. After a brainstorming session filled with some pretty out there ideas, most unhinged goes to Carl, who wants military dictator like Juan Perón. Glad they went with a way more chill option of voting on the most ridiculous candidate, eventually landing on
This new face is now favored by 53% of likely voters.
who needs a front runner with a frontal lobe? Right, my boy's Ralph's nomination has Lisa visibly losing it. By that, I mean her faith in democracy, because she's well aware of Ralph's intellect. But Homer and Bart are sold. Turns out being unable to articulate basic political ideas is a no biggie if you've got that adorable Ralph Riz.
And he's already a master of the soundbite from his take on immigration.
Secure the area. Response protected.
Discipline stands on government spending.
I can't say his points aren't reasonable. I'm going to take the light from my point wins over Republicans and Democrats. Both parties officially endorsing and harassing the raid and trade with all the people. He finally confronts Ralph about his political career, telling him that they're all using him. He's along the line of fire, but my boy Ralph holds his own, so try to appreciate it. Sign intelligence. Where's the line?
Barricade pacified!
10 seconds to insertion.
Over. He thinks both parties
Down to 5 seconds.
what I think is the greatest political ad ever made, like ever. However,
You must protect your bombs from being defused by Op 4.
did not go down on Argentina, deviating into the dark history of disappearances. Fox Latin America preemptively chose to not air that episode, fearing it would reopen old wounds.
The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and
Every iconic and beloved character, there's gonna be an outright evil one the fans have no choice but to hate.
Op 4 found a bomb. You must defend
His
it.
career is nearing its end due to his age and the rumor that he does weird things with fish. He takes advantage of Selma to get himself back on top.
Having a child. That's a big step.
You bet it is. Think what it'll mean. Not just my paint movie, but maybe my own fragrance. Ellen and Troy.
Is there anything you won't do for a movie deal? A fish called Selma starts the Simpsons family watching a movie, starring one of Spring Christmas themes actors, Troy McClure. While watching, the family discusses how old McClure is looking, which leads to Homer saying this.
Yeah, who'd have thought he turned out to be such a weirdo?
What are you talking about?
Our personal life. Those weird things that he does down at the aquarium.
Homer, you can't go around spreading rumors like that. You'll get banned. What's up, radio, telling Homer that's never do anything weird. Probably. Where he gets the girl back in his car, ain't doing his reputation any favors. While trying to get home, the struggling actor crashes into pretty much everything on the road, resulting in him being pulled over by Gene Wiggum.
Corrective lenses. Put those glasses on, mister.
With dress pants like me to wear glasses, it'd be a crime against nature.
Oh, it looks like he's wearing a couple of telescopes. Wiggum tells McClure that if he passes the eye test at the DMV, he won't need to wear his glasses. Despite having the eyesight and blindfolded bad, his vanity gets the better of him, and he tries it. One friendly painting woman in charge of his test just happens to be one of his biggest fans.
As an actor, I depend on you can find it in your heart to pass me. I'm sure I can find some way to repay you. Say, by buying you dinner.
After a night of listening to rapidly boring so wish it was his ears that don't work so well, suddenly, engaged, the actor clearly does not want to be there. After making the smallest of small talk, McClure finally feels like his obligation is over. As they leave the restaurant, they're spotted by paparazzi, and Troy takes advantage.
Roy McClure, he's almost a movie star.
Let's be real, what does a broken heart matter if it means he can break box office records, huh? Well, it seems like his plan works. McClure's agent calls him after 8 years and tells him that if he keeps being seen as a wholesome guy, the work will just come flooding in. Not one to let a little thing like morals get in the way of his success, Troy calls Selma pretending that he actually likes her. Once again, the paparazzi are all over his new relationship, which leads to him to go all in on his manipulation tactics.
No longer canst I conceal my love, my wrinkled turtle dove.
Oh, Princess Fair, willst thou grant me thy dainty of in marriage?
Troy must really need this boost in popularity. I feel like just kissing her would give you a nicotine rush. Troy's devious plan works, and the rumor that he prefers kills over girls gets squashed. He also gets offered lots of money. Special cream, dude right out. After Marge gives her some tough love, Selma rushes to Troy and asks him if it's true, to which he casually says yes. At first, of course, Selma is furious, but after Troy explains that she'll live a life of luxury, she agrees to keep the sham marriage going.
One day, my lady Selma's gonna have a star right next to mine.
Guess those cigarettes can't buy themselves. Things go one step further when Troy's manager tells him that he needs to have a baby with Selma to cinch the role. While unsure at first, Selma agrees, but after awkwardly trying to get started, Selma comes to her senses.
Tori, a loveless marriage is one thing. We're not hurting anybody. But bringing a child into a loveless family is something I just can't do.
Well, I think it's the best. Unless she's willing to wear an octopus costume, it's just not going to work. Now, when you feel sorry for Selma, one of the meanest characters in The Simpsons, you just know that McClure's a nasty piece of work. While the actor has been on many big screen adventures, Grandpa has lived them. Well, according to him, anyway. Abe Simpson is definitely a loved character amongst fans. He's dramatic, he's grouchy, and he's senile. He's known for all of his crazy World War II stories. They're just too wild for truth. Or are they?
Oh, they'll never save your great Hitler.
Now that's a man you wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of. Enraging Abe Simpson and his rumbling grandson into the curse of the flying hellfish, Grandpa visits Springfield Elementary to share his wisdom with Bart and the rest of their class. But the stories he shares aren't the most believable.
I invented the toilet. Your cigarette. I spent 3 years on that toilet.
3 years? He needs not to see a doctor. Abe's crazy comments and various articles suggest locking him up in the care home he can't leave. I think that's called prison. Back at Abe's home, though, the elderly man is looking through his mail when he discovers that someone called Marshall Phelps has died in Abe was part of the pack of 6 other veterans. With all are gone, there were only 2 people left. Him and Mr. Burns.
Wait, 7 gone. 2 on your press board comment. I'll be the sole survivor and the treasure will be mine.
Mr. Burns and Greed have no limits, but being greedy, let Abe buy some new slippers or something. Determined to get his hands on the treasure, Mr. Burns comes up with a plan to get Grandpa killed and calls an assassin to get the job done. In the dead of the night, Burns and the assassin sneak into Abe's room and poison his denture water. The alarm clock goes off, however, he throws his key and sticks the clock in his mouth, foiling the plan. The assassin is not done yet.
Wait a minute. My family never comes to me.
Mr. Burns can pass the long-lost Bouvier sister, and he wouldn't be the worst-looking one. Eventually, the assassin decides to go full-blown Rambo, shooting up the care home. Luckily, Grandpa escapes, but nobody believes him. And can you really blame them? The Simpsons let Abe stay in Bart's room, and he tells him the story of the flying hellfish bonanza, the reason why Burns wants him dead.
And every unit has a troublemaker. Ours was a cocky little private named Montgomery Burns.
Mr. Burns has always been a pompous windbag. The squad, which included several descendants of Springfield's residents, manages to capture a German castle, along with all of its treasures. Mr. Burns suggests that they steal the paintings, and despite initially refusing, Abe agrees. The problem is they couldn't just take them there and then, so they come up with a plan.
How many of you were familiar with the concept of a team? All right, Ox, why don't you take us through it?
Contract whereby the last surviving participant becomes the sole possessor of all their burning pictures.
So whoever survives the longest gets stinking rich. Bart thinks that Grandpa's made the whole thing up, and then when Mr. Burns comes crashing through the wall and forces him to hand over his key, he realizes it's true. Luckily for him, Bart is as devious as Burns and manages to swipe both the keys from him. Bart and Grandpa decide to claim the treasure for themselves, but there's a snag.
Oh, it's gonna show us exactly where to dig.
So if that box is waterproof, or else they're going to get some not-so-valuable mush. Unfazed, though, Bart and Grandpa steal Ned's boat and diving equipment and sets sail to reclaim the treasure. Bart does the job of diving down to find the treasure, and Abe pulls them back up to the surface. With paintings in hand, Abe celebrates, but that's when Burns sneaks up with a gun. Forcing the painting over the paintings, but not before doing this.
Take the art if you want, just don't hurt the boy.
And both turns out it's not just fucking worse. They're delicious. Come on, you gotta get it going. Grandpa can't just let his grandson see water blue, so he dives down and gets by Ronan That Abe Simpson of the Flying Hellfish. The duo takes over and 5 seconds. Here is Nemesis' boat, climb on board, and grounded on the shore.
Make your way to location and defuse it.
Yeah, kick rocks, Monty. With the paintings now in the hands of Abe, Bart tells him no one will ever be able to take the riches away from him. Well, maybe from the government. Germany. Oh, he may have lost the fortune. Grandpa gets something priceless in return.
You say I got to aesthetical.
I believe Grandpa the whole time. Honestly, it's trust and affirmation, but it's not always. Time, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't deserve her spot in the state list. How could the minister's daughter be that bad? Well, it's because she's not as smart as stealing from a church. That's going to be a hard one to talk yourself out of. Bart says, Springfield play a game of war before the parents call them into the church. They decide to pray for it, but get rounded up in circus. While Bart finds it boring, he suddenly discovers something that makes it a little more interesting. It's a miracle. Bart meets a girl he doesn't think has anything. Turns out the girl is Reverend Lovejoy's daughter, Jessica, who has just come back from boarding school. Keen to get to know her, Bart introduces himself, but Jessica just goes. He tries to give him some words.
Oh, Mom. I won a match for my team. So I think I was the only person left. All the other people were later. And I was just character who had an ability so we couldn't hear their footsteps. So then I snuck up behind someone and I shot him. And I got a kill cam. That's rare for me. I barely get kill cams. Usually the enemies are smart. You don't actually can kill enemies now, but...
Down to friendly.
Jessica, Bart does the unthinkable. He goes to he's got a bad case of the 5 seconds. Shooting the teacher from the sunshot. Does not want to decides acting good. Worth it to let off the feed. He ties the video to kill. And by the end of the day, his name has never been so fitting. Frank lands Bart in detention for 3 months.
Is it weird that other cookie dough is better than the actual cookie cook?
If you say girls like a bad boy, I think
it's only certain dough. Like those cookies probably would have tasted better than that dough. I didn't realize that though.
For a librarian and combing his
Oh no! I know you're not going to defend my team, so.
Like Gorilla Glue or something. It's Lovejoy's house, however. Bart doesn't make a great impression and gets out, telling Helen Lovejoy this.
Lady, but what you don't know could build a warehouse.
Young man, explain yourself.
Anyone got any holy water? She's got her. Bart thinks that he's blown his chances here, but as he walks back home, Jessica catches up to him and tells him that she likes bad boys. She then suggests that he go find something fun to do, which basically means a spree of troublemaking. They hang around the no loitering zone, eat ice cream in front of hungry people at the gym, and TP the Jebediah Springfield statue. Seems like Bart really appreciates a girl who can handle her toilet paper. The next day at school, Bart tells the other boys about his new girlfriend, but no one believes him. It makes it worse that Jessica pretends to not even know him. That's like something happened to me. Moms can be so weird with their friends. Alright. Bart asks Jessica why she lied, to which she explains her parents can't find out about the relationship and tells them it's more exciting if it's kept a secret anyway. Then they'll go skateboarding. Bride's time. Got now, Bart. Back in school, Jessica's reign of chaos continues as she holds Bart's hand and then forces him to pull the fire alarm. Realizing that she's even worse than him, Bart decides to break up with him, not wanting to lose him. She tells him that she'll calm down and leave him life.
10 seconds for sure.
You get a lesson in morality by Bart Simpson. You know,
5 seconds for sure.
Unfortunately, Bart is framed by Jessica, and the whole town now thinks she should locate and tries to convince Reverend's daughter to come clean. She tells him that she doesn't feel like it. At this point, Bart's had enough and threatens to tell everyone the truth, but Jessica ain't fake.
What I do?
I think I can speak for all of us when I say that this really sucks. It's so hard that I can't let Jessica get away with being a menace, especially when it's her brother getting them. Church Reverend Lovejoy has Bart shot cracking Hannibal Lecter to prevent him from stealing the collection money again. I'll talk about an overreaction. What next? Put a lock on the box. Luckily, Bart is by this point.
The oncology team at Unity Point Health are looking for every step of the journey.
Progress so far is encouraging. Let's review it. Next steps.
Unity Point Health, expert care focused on you.
For real, how much did you save? Thousands. Especially because there were no fees. It was just a huge weight off of your shoulders.
As your student debt was so fine, you can save thousands and pay off your debt soon with no fees required.
Stonefire means campfire. Together, we know.
Every day feels the same. Once more, I need an adventure. So can go to Expedia.
Book my flight now. I stay later.
Special charge. Stay clear. Instant save.
Thanks, voice in the sky.
The more Ken travels, the more he
Finally, the Goody Two Shoes act is over. Actress Jessica comes clean, telling Reverend Lovejoy that it was just a cry for attention. As punishment, she's forced to scrub the concrete outside the church. Bart forgives her for everything she's done. It turns out she hasn't actually learned.
Oh my god. Mom, it's so funny how Rachel Duck, right? Rachel Duck, yes, and the Duck in real life. So weird. My reaction is actually too bad. Dude, Mom, I think the problem with me and Steve is my reaction isn't the best. And I'm not a really good guy that just reacts
so quick. This man seems devious, happy-go-lucky, and naive. Basically a typical boy. Shot like ignorance has gotten him to eat a lot of pickles over the years, but nothing quite like the time he became Daredevil.
How do you say this name? This name? That's how I say it? Huh.
Well, he took that rant better than the hill in the last episode. In part the Daredevil, part Homer watch a commercial for the Monster Truck Rally, which promises to see more car destruction on the highway on New Year's Eve, especially with its main attraction.
That's the amazing, the astounding, unbelievable, what?
Wonder if it poops them out in those little car crusher cubes. I'm thinking way too much. And desperate to see the show, Homer announces that the family will be going to the monster truck rally. Only problem is, it's on the same night as Lisa's saxophone recital. As both the Simpson boys cry over losing a chance to see Truckosaurus, Marge explains that they can make both things, if they get there fast enough. While they arrive just in time, it turns out they took a wrong turn in the parking lot. Don't. His eyesight is based on. Never mind, I'm thinking of Jurassic Park. Luckily, they survive Truckosaurus, and the family gets to enjoy the
locate a bomb.
A daredevil, Lance Murdoch, who manages to jump his bike over a water tank filled with dangerous creatures. Although he does fall in while celebrating, but we're not going to talk about that. Watching Murdoch in action inspires Bart to become a daredevil himself. Wow, with friends like that, who needs enemies? Luckily, Bart walks away with just a couple of stitches on his head. So I'm located a bomb. Gave up on the idea of death-defying stunts, right?
Yeah.
He drives the car jumping the stunt once again, and next time the action pulls it off. Riding high on the adrenaline, Bart starts upping the stakes and pulls off with more dangerous stunts. Eventually, they become too easy, and Bart found a cheaply of the stuff. And he definitely finds it. I think we'll need more than plus about the same Bart not really. Dogs are the thrilling, addictive. These are he is Bart. These are Murdoch in the hospital, hoping will change Bart's mind.
Now let me start by saying, good for you, son.
That's a good plan. But what did you expect? That's like thinking over the Bart more set than ever on jumping Springfield Gorge. Lisa tells her parents. Homer yells at her and makes Bart
How'd it go, Homer?
You know, Marge, we got a pretty good kid.
It's Gorge. All the kids are waiting for Bart to do the job, right? That's basically plunge to his untimely death. As he prepares himself on a steep slope, Homer goes to Bart's room to see if he wants to play catch, and he realizes he's doomed. He quickly rushes to Springfield Gorge in the nick of time.
The diffuser is in round cover.
I've never seen Homer move that fast. So far, stepping on the skateboard himself and wearing show life, boy comes to his senses.
Dude, Mom, I want this guy so bad. Dude, the guy watching right now play, his ability is so strong because he can track the player where he is. So basically, it's like if they were on your team, which is so cool. But he's $15,000. Not IRL, just to get money. So I don't really think a lot of people don't want to get me. I'm already at like $7,000, so pretty expensive.
But that's when this happens.
I love you too, son. I don't think I've ever felt as close to you as I do right now. This is the greatest thrill of my life. I'm king of the world.
Spoiler alert, he doesn't make it. Homer falls down Springfield Gorge, hitting every rock on the way down. To make matters worse, he not only hits his head while being airlifted back up, but then falls out of the ambulance and falls all over again. Someone's going to have a headache in the morning. It's clear that Bart isn't just loved by the fans, but
yeah, this girl. Well, yeah, this character. Her body.
Vera?
Vera, yeah. I love her ability, because in this game, it's another thing that I don't see in games. What's that here? Like, if I didn't have, if they couldn't hear my footsteps, I would have never made it through that match. How much really strong is this character?
I mean, it's not to fall down a 100-foot gorge twice just to teach their kid a lesson. Bart is a fan favorite because he's the perfect mix of being rebellious, sharp-witted, a troublemaker, and oftentimes really sweet. While Bart's personality is easy to love, even as not desired, people aren't always so accepting of Lisa's passionate opinions, which often cross into being obnoxious. Lisa is known for putting herself on a moral pedestal and sometimes having superiority complex. While her heart's in the right place, she's done a few things that fans have definitely hated, like the time she helped Mr. Burns. eco-activist teaming up with a guy who doesn't like
Protect the bomb.
clear waste. And what could go wrong? Even the old man and Lisa, Springfield's resident eco warrior, wakes up to the night by running bottles.
Oh my god, I'm just like...
Great idea. Starts helping her daughter out. Lisa gets her.
You're not supposed to have recycling with this thing.
Door secured! Guest speaker thought about the business. Asked the power plant's recycling program. First, we know what happened.
Be ready for hostile action.
Now,
No, we felt free.
shut up, little girl. I wouldn't be worth $200 million today.
Well, it turns out he's not actually worth $200 million. In fact, he was yesterday, not telling you how poorly his stocks are doing. He's actually broke. Ah, how the mighty have fallen. His first moved his power plant and his house. In fact, the only things he now has left is a single portrait and Smithers. We all know why he's hanging around. Okay, let's not dwell too much on that. Mr. Burns finds himself by grocery shopping. Unfortunately, he struggles to control well, the store guy's not the papers. He must be nuts. They're the ones in charge of stocking the trail mix. I'll let this come out now. Back in the Simpson household, the lady death with the village. More beers than even eat. Well, he suggests going to the old folks' home. She finds Mr. Burns. Burns realizes he needs someone who isn't straight down and wrong. He's determined to get Lisa to help him build the sports back up again. He even tells her that she needs ways.
We only earn money by doing good, socially responsible things.
One of the world's richest men making money in an honest way? That is radical. Lisa and Mr. Burns go to the beach to collect a can and makes $50. But he's not done there. After getting the people at the old folks' home to help them, he ends up building the Newbie likes a know-it-all. Burns names his new power plant after his entire factory's environmentally friendly. It's powered by old newspapers, machines are made from used cans, and the glass in the windows are old beer bottles. Looks like Mr. Burns is making his millions by saving the planet.
A million sold together will catch a million.
Turns out the powerful explosive. The best part is it drops 100% stifled fish. I really don't think that's how it works. Lisa's obviously disgusted, but it turns out she's kind of to blame too.
Swipe the door.
How could she think Burns could ever change? If she hadn't been so righteous, he wouldn't have been able to carry on being evil. Lisa tells people to stop recycling as it's fueling the new fish slurry factory, completely going back on her original mission. While feeling sorry for herself, Mr. Burns makes a surprise call to the Simpson house and tells her that he sold the recycling plant for a whopping $120 million.
As my advisor, you're entitled to 10% of the proceeds.
You did the right thing, sweetheart.
What didn't she think of all the good she could do for the planet with that type of money? I guess she'll sleep better knowing she stuck to her morals. But she would have slept equally as well in an expensive four-poster bed too. Lisa often lets her moral superiority complex get in the way of the conviction, like her family's happiness, which ironically makes her kind of selfish. What makes it worse is that she can be kind of a hypocrite sometimes, doing things that only benefit her, like sabotaging Allison's project and Lisa's rival, just because she was better at some things. But maybe Lisa is just misunderstood, like Mrs. Crabapple. May seem like a strict teacher who runs a classroom from 9 to 5th, but really has a heart of gold. Despite the number of times she's given Bart and the rest of the class a hard time, Edna has proven herself to be a pretty complex character, from her love life to her unhealthy habits, such as gambling, drinking, and smoking. But what fans love about her is how fundamentally human she is, and how much she truly
Protect
cares
the
about her
bomb.
class.
Okay, Edna, remember, if you can teach one kid one thing, then today will be
Like one kid put up and work. Back waking up, coming home, the market in bed, and Alex watched her that. Not so hard to breakfast. Worth it. Talk about doing her best with the kids, but when you go to class, after locking all your phones away,
Second relax.
up.
Chill out.
5 seconds left. Plan your defense. Bomb located by
Grand
Op 4.
plans, wasted money. College out, Gumble, they then poured into a coffee cup and wait for it to debate. And before he's like, one, please, the happy drunk. Booze really hits Edna when she tries to write an equation with chalkboard, but ends up wiping it off with her face. Bart tells her she looks pretty tired and thinks more coffee would help. But no, Bart, she actually needs real coffee at this point, and a lot of it. He gets her enjoying the student group for Babel, but after a drunken outburst in choir practice, she gets busted.
One night, Dewey, I'll get you off Broadway.
And let's go. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but I'm letting you go.
Man, that's rough. After all the time Susuke is helping Bart out, like helping him pass the 4th grade, he gets her fired. Bart and Nelson watch their teacher pack their things, start feeling guilty about what they just did, while Bart goes to clean. That use their phones again, making them forget all about that. That Bart's gone into excitement for learning. He also starts to worry about Mr. Babel and offers him years an excuse to see how she's doing.
Point. Out of work, I'm out of money. Wants me to take this person.
I don't know what you
Last operator stands.
It's a class full of troubled kids. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Bart doesn't know how to go. Chocolate, Bart tells his friend that
All friendly were eliminated.
Exactly. Over next year. To start, he buys himself help. Chocolate thinks the class is lost, while Edna thinks it's stupid. It turns out to actually work.
Like your dream on the index card of fate. I want to own a muffin store. Great idea.
Bart, this is starting to sound like one of those loony self-help books.
All thanks to
Because the power of wishful thinking is actually a thing. I'm sure my lottery numbers will come up any day now. Edna's Edibles, which sounds suspiciously like a space cake store, is a success. The former teacher is apparently enjoying her new life. Bart happy that he's made it up to Miss K. He's finally come clean here, but she doesn't take the truth very well.
It's your fault I have to work at this stupid muffin store. My real dream was to be a teacher, and you got me fired.
Ah, man, who knew she cared so much about being a teacher? She's got a funny way of showing it most of the time. And it tells Bart that she has always thought deep down that he was a decent man. But she now realizes that she was wrong. She even goes as far as telling him that he's bad on the inside. Oh, Mr. Babel, that's right up there with I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. Bart, who acted with guilt, comes up with a plan to get Zach drunk so Edna can get her job back. Come on, Bart, have you never heard that 2 wrongs don't make a right? Eventually, he decides the best thing to do is just to come clean.
So you see, it was my fault. I got Mr. Kabobble drunk.
Bart, you deserve a reward for telling the truth. And that reward will be in the form of a severe punishment.
As long as Edna gets her job back.
It's getting rid of a teacher if he's doing a good job.
Don't tell him that. He'll go find a way to get him fired again. Luckily, it doesn't come to that, as Zach turns up in the hallway wasted, screaming that he hates children. Yikes, I think you've got the wrong profession, but it turns out that he voluntarily added bodies to his drink. And I was at a party, I guess. Stone gets him fired, leaving a position open for everyone's much-loved, albeit strict, teacher.
Nope. Now everyone enjoy one of my yummy muffins.
They're stale.
Eat the muffin.
10 seconds to insertion.
One chief.
Op 4 located a bomb protected. 5 seconds
I'm
to
sure she
insertion.
comes across as a harsh communication job, but as it's
Op 4 located a bomb. Be ready for hostile.
In 2013, Edna was unfortunately killed off after the voice actor Marcia Wallace passed away in real life. While the character is no longer around, every now and then she's mentioned or even drives the plot of an episode, proving how much the character and voice actor is a testament to the show. While Miss K tried to help Bart on several occasions, the same can be said for another character who is is hell-bent on killing him. The patent and villains. But one of the most dangerous is Sideshow Bob, whose murderous obsession with Bart is downright terrifying. Well, imagine in Cape Fear, Bart and Lisa are watching the McBain show, and Marge gives his letter until he sees what's inside of it.
I'm going to
Oh, it's some Sideshow Bob that puts that right alcohol. Get a blood transfusion every hour. Understandably, Bart is disturbed about the threatening letter, which is only made worse when more and more threats are being sent to him. Not realizing that the man who got locked up in Bart starts hiding, paranoid that everyone's out to get him.
Watch it. Have you watched it yet?
Contra!
Well, with everyone fearing things like that, can you really blame him? Marge goes to Chief Wiggum for help, who tells her that sending threatening messages isn't a crime. I'm pretty sure it is. About all the prank calls that Bart makes, but turns out he was just hiding smuggled pens. Wiggum probably thinks that isn't a crime either. Bart's problems got even worse. Sideshow Bob makes him in prison on parole.
All friendlies were eliminated.
Not staying away forever doesn't sound so bad. I'm sure he'll stick to his word. Bob works out and plots his revenge on Bart while also throwing sharp objects in a picture of him, because that's not psychotic at all. He then rides around Evergreen Terrace announcing he's not going to kill him.
Uh-oh, isn't that nice? Homer Simpson, Marge Simpson, that is all.
That's like a messed up reverse lottery. Scared for their son's life, Marge and Homer put the family into a witness protection program. Is it just me, or would arresting the crazy guy threatening to kill a 10-year-old be an easier solution? With the Simpsons packed up and ready to start their new life, it seems like the danger is behind them, or more accurately, beneath them. Well, that's got to be a nice change from stepping on ranks. That was about too soon. The Simpsons, or should I say the Thompsons, move into a little houseboat in Cape Fear, which is really an unfortunate name for a family trying to hide from a killer. Despite being completely battered and bruised from the journey, Bob wastes no time planning his revenge. Dude might be a psychopath, but you can't fault him for the attention to detail, I guess. Back on the houseboat, Bart is still on edge, which doesn't help when Homer bursts in to show him his new chainsaw and hockey mask. At this rate, Bob won't need to do anything. Homer will just give the poor kid a heart attack. When the Simpson family settle down for the night, Bob takes the opportunity to sneak on board.
No, go on.
Well, you have such a beautiful voice.
Guilty as charged.
I was wondering if you could sing the entire score of the HMS Pinnacle.
Very well, Bart. And we sail thee on some
Failure. What's the difference? Oh, I'm good. How do you know? Well, I counted it, and then I quit it. Like, are you rage quitting or are you just quitting the game? Like, that's new. Which one is it? What? You're too strong. You think you're too strong. I used to volley. I got long sleeve. Oh no, I got long sleeve. That's what the problem is. How was my controller? And dislocate. And dislocate. Ah! And now a bus. I don't.
The stuff blocked out. Everyone's really busy. Someone has to deal with Mr. Burns before he can do something else with the town. Burns walks down the street, practically smelling the way he's making all the street lights going on. People in the hall start disappearing. Instead of Burns thinks he's got to play this guy off the plan. He's finds out the building. It is.
Yeah. Get going now. David John. Oh my god. You did not tell me! Get some skills. I told you just passed up and so you just go ahead. Damn it! You're gonna have to struggle. Yeah. I'm good. Okay.
It's not fair that the only reason gets to be George. I had no soul part of it, you know. Hell, it's really not understand. Signal lost. Oh, were you on a different call? Sorry about that. Unregistered signals tend to cut out at these altitudes. I can keep you company till you get here, though. Let's see. Yes, I'll pick you up in 4 hours. In the meantime, see yourself again. Please.
You know, I'm super these five. Let me just yeah. Battery protection charge.
You're on the clock. Eliminate hostiles. Hostiles are ahead of you. You have 5 minutes. Your team is in the lead.
He literally scolded you.
Show me how good you are.
I need to. It's not that people hate this.
You ready to engage Op 4?
Trap. Stay clear of blast zone.
Keep an eye on Gord!
Down to 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
EDD primed. Reloading.
One friendly remaining. All friendlies were eliminated.
Oh. No. Get fuck off. Money.
Friendly drone deployed. Op 4 is reinforcing its location. To go. 5 seconds. You found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it. Must recover the diffuser.
I told you. Mute your mic, find a cool spot into suits, and just
Friendly, last operator standing. The diffuser is now
Are you
secured.
good at swinging?
Very good. I'm sorry.